If the markets are, getting all flustered about this, what's remarkable is just in the course of the last hour, it's actually built up its gains here. Apple is helping things a lot here. It's at an all-time high, intraday trading high. Most of the stocks are up, more than offsetting those that are down. But what's interesting here is the markets seem convinced that this will just sort of blow over. Will it? A lot depends on what we discover about these leaks and who's behind them. Jason Beardsley, retired Army Master Sergeant. Sergeant, very good to have you. Thanks for taking the time.
Hey, great. Thank you, Neil, for having me. Go ahead and cancel your opera tickets for tonight because we're seeing a lot of kabuki theater here.
You're not kidding.
This is absurd what's happening. You and Colin McShane laid out a great case of what's happened. And,
but it is weird, right? I mean, we're not imagining. The first tip-off was when that Australian Prime Minister phone call was leaked out there. That would have to have been someone, I'm told, in the State Department. But we've seen this time and again in this new young administration. I'm wondering what's going on. What do you think?
Yeah, well, you guys have laid out the perfect case. What we have are a lot of apparatchiks inside this state bureaucracy that are leaking phone calls from our head of state, from our president to another head of state. And again, that is going to shatter confidence in our foreign policy overseas if people don't believe that the sanctity of their conversations is held, in high regard. Whereas, in fact, what we're seeing are the political opposition has got a scorched earth policy. Make no mistakes, this is not about General Flynn or retired Lieutenant General Flynn. This was a political grenade meant to taint anybody within his 5-10 meter radius with political shrapnel. And you saw it just a few moments ago in that press conference. The Democrats are not going to stop at Mike Flynn. They're going after Trump and anybody they can taint with this. This is about theater. What really needs to happen, and you already mentioned this, the real story is where are these leaks coming from? And for what I'm going to ask you right now is ask your viewers to remember our church commissions in '76. What we saw were senators that went after a politicized bureaucracy in the NSA and the CIA to uncover how Nixon might have been using or other presidents may have used those tools for political purposes. We need to see the same level of sort of investigations from Congress right now.
Jason, I recounted a story, and it gets old for a lot of viewers, but I always remember it about being at the Bureau of Labor Statistics when a worker bee there was saying, Neil, the political leaders will come and go. We will be here forever. And there's a sense that in the bureaucracy, the bureaucrats, the worker bees, the federal workers, I'm not meaning to disparage them all, trust me, they have a sense of permanence. And so they would be the first to react. Right. To incoming secretaries who would want to change, or even a president who would want to uproot the system the way we know it to be. We see it with Betsy DeVos at the Education Department, where they almost mutinied against her in the confirmation process. We saw it certainly at the State Department with things that were leaked when Rex Tillerson was going through his confirmation process. And I could go on and on.
Right.
That's a big thing to worry about, because if you are the President of the United States or your key staff members, everything you're saying and doing is getting leaked out, boy, that changes how you do business, right?
That's the point. This is political warfare, and the opponents have a scorched earth policy. And again, you mentioned these people that are entrenched in the bureaucracy, and as long as their oath is to the Constitution to defend the people, their national security should be the priority, not their political purposes. So, Mike Flynn's a guy that's bucked the system. You're going to see someone like Secretary DeVos bucking the system a little. Secretary of State Tillerson's going to go in, and they're going to be pushing back on these institutions. And if we don't have the faith and confidence in our civil servant sort of bureaucrats to hold, in secrecy what ought to be in secrecy, they can take it behind closed doors. If there's an ethical problem or a legal problem, let's hear it.
Is there a danger, though, Jason?
This was an opinion.
I'm sorry, and I know this presser is going to start soon. I don't want to rob you of that. But is there a danger if Republicans say no to the Democrats' demand for hearings here? If they say, no, this is political witch hunt, won't the Democrats come back? And media, of course, come back. None of you should play into their game. But you're hiding something. I mean, both sides can play a political football, right?
Absolutely, but if the Republicans are smart, they'll have hearings. And again, I'm talking about church commission-like hearings. Let's get to the bottom of how these leaks are happening. Let's find out who leaked the phone call between the president and the Australian Prime Minister.
Okay.
Let's find out which people are actually involved with this, because the real problem, again, the real story is not about Mike Flynn. The real story is about why our government civil servants are devolving secrets that should be kept behind closed doors. That's the real story here. Don't take our eye off the ball. And the Republicans ought to go very aggressive at this. We've done it before, so there's a precedent set. The president should not use these tools politically, but neither should the opposition. There's a shadow opposition here. That needs to be uncovered.
Yeah, not so much in the shadows anymore. Jason Beardsley, Army Master Sergeant retired. Great seeing you again, my friend. Thank you.